especially we also have leaders here, seasoned leaders, who may also find it hard. I cannot deny, I've also experienced working with people having a hard time adjusting and adapting with how fast technology is going. What would be some tips or perhaps tools that can help them? I want to start here. Let's start here. What would you say, Ms. Esme?
Maybe we can start with public and private perspective, right? So I work with government agencies, and a lot can be limited by policy set in place. AOs, right? Memos, etc. That's already been there from secretaries before and senators before, right? But we are, again, as I showed earlier, we are living in a fast age. Japan actually, surprising, they're still using fax, FAX, in terms of their, in terms of some big companies there. So you can see they're not in the forefront of technology anymore. They were before. So I think my suggestion, especially in the public sector, is to go beyond what you already have. This is where creativity can come into play. Creativity is not just about what colors do you pick. It's actually creative problem solving. Everyone has an answer, the obvious answer, lahat tayo yung sasagutin. But if you think beyond that and push that, you're going to have innovative answers. I know it's very abstract, but don't go for the first answer. Don't go for the obvious answer. Think of the best solution. So I think that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Esme. Earlier, one of our speakers also shared, if I may quote, that was Dr. Marisa Henderson. She said, "We cannot be complacent. We must adapt because it will continue to rise." You have had a lot of examples earlier from other countries. Looking at the Philippines, at where we are right now, with what you have experienced, do you think the Philippines can adapt to how fast things are going with technology? And if I may also add, i-include na natin dyan on where we are when it comes to how fast our networks are. Siyempre, with technology, kailangan natin yan. So, do you think the Philippines can chase the fast rise of innovation and technology?
Well, the Philippines is, at least the Filipinos are the biggest users of social media, right? That's already started. A lot of applications actually, like Shopee, they started as a mobile app because we don't use desktop anymore and everyone has that. So everyone has the technology in their hands. It's a matter of how can you push that forward and also create spaces where tools using that can be monetized, can be maximized. So in terms of the internet, I don't want to touch it because I know it's a touchy subject. I'm not affiliated to anyone.
Yes.
I know that there are the digital divide. I talked about it earlier. Maybe a lot of these digital services that we're looking as if you look at the economy of the Philippines in terms of creative part of the GDP, mostly all of that is in Manila. All of that is in Davao and Cebu, probably because of the internet. So how can we, again, I always just prompt the question, how can we close the gap of that digital divide? So I think that's a question to the internet that you're asking.
Yes. All right. So at least we see that probability as well. Also, my next question is, not all LGUs, not all companies still have their own personal Facebook profiles. Do you think that is a new necessity now for us to be relevant, for us to be seen, for us to promote the heritage, culture, and preservation that we have in each of our companies and LGUs? Do you think that is a new necessity?
I wouldn't say it's a necessity. These creatives are already doing the work without support, right? It's being done already. They're doing already creative things. Now, coming from maybe the regional side of things, there is a unification there in terms of, ano yung nasa Bicol, iba yung bibig sa Cebu. So all of those things. So there is I think an opportunity to band these regional creatives together because the artwork that's going to come from Visayas is going to be different from Mindanao. And I think that kind of representation makes, it's way louder than individual voices. So I think that's the reason why they are essential. In terms of Facebook, what's the intention of your Facebook? I think it always has to be context.
All right, and with that, we have heard so much passion and so much knowledge coming once more from Ms. Esme. Palakpakan po natin, everybody. Thank you so much for your time.